Welcome to The Explainer. We live in a world that is just completely overflowing with technology. But there is this massive gap. Well, actually, scratch that. It's more like a chasm between having access to that tech and actually possessing the wisdom to use it. So today, we're exploring a really detailed blueprint designed to bridge that exact gap. It's called the Digital Divide Bridge, and it provides this absolutely fascinating model for turning raw information into real, community-wide transformation.
Okay, let's dive into this. What happens when technology leaves you behind? And this isn't just some philosophical thought experiment. It's a harsh, daily reality for an estimated 4 to 6 billion people globally. Depending on how you define adequate skills, up to 75% of humanity is currently standing on the wrong side of the digital divide. When technology leaves you behind, it forms this severe, almost insurmountable barrier to participating in modern society. We aren't just talking about missing out on the latest viral video here. We are talking about being entirely locked out of the modern economy.
All right, that brings us to Section 1, the modern digital divide.
So, the absolutely crucial point to understand right out of the gate is that the modern divide isn't simply about lacking a smartphone or a laptop. It's a massive gap in skills. Think about the reality without digital literacy for a second. You're dealing with limited banking opportunities, reduced access to healthcare services, and severely restricted entrepreneurship. Navigating modern financial systems is incredibly difficult. But then, flip the script. With digital literacy, individuals gain independence, families gain economic stability, and communities gain strength. Giving someone a laptop without these skills, it's kind of like giving them a plane without flight lessons. It is literally the difference between exclusion and empowerment.
Moving right along to Chapter 2, a proven historical model. What's just absolutely fascinating is that this exact problem has been tackled and beaten before. Picture this. Harlem, New York in the 1990s. An initiative called the Computer Underground Railroad Enterprises, or CURE, was launched after a challenge from the legendary mother Clara Hale. This community-based program took on the huge task of bringing the information age to a community that was rapidly being left behind. And the results? Totally astounding. They successfully trained over 3,000 individuals. And they didn't just teach them to point and click. They taught them to write resumes, start real businesses, and most importantly, become conductors who could then guide others across that digital bridge.
The driving force behind all of this was the founder, J. Nair Hardin, who operated with this incredible motto, "I'm looking for the first person I can't train." What a powerful statement, right? It demonstrates an absolute, unshakable belief in community capability. No one is too old, too disconnected, or too disadvantaged to learn these skills if they're taught with patience and purpose. Which actually leads me to one of my absolute favorite stories from this source material.
During those Harlem training years, a 92-year-old former typing teacher named Roxana Dawson came to class. She flat out told the founder she would be the first person they couldn't train because she was legally blind. So what did the founder do? She bumped the font size on the computer screen all the way up to 48-point type. She guided Roxana's hands to the keyboard and told her to type her name. When Roxana looked up and saw her name glowing on the screen, she literally yelled, "I can see!" The whole room just erupted. She used that momentum, built her confidence, and eventually launched her very own online business booking trips for other seniors. Seriously, if a 92-year-old legally blind woman can do it, absolutely anyone can.
So how do we bring that magic into the modern era? Let's get into Chapter 3, the Digital Divide Bridge.
This source outlines a fully structured grant-ready model built for today. If we follow this roadmap, it guides a participant step by step through a complete transformation. It starts with faith, meaning belief and purpose. Then it moves into knowledge, specifically digital and artificial intelligence skills. From there, it requires application through training and mentorship, which directly leads into income, creating jobs and actual businesses. And finally, it results in the multiplier effect, creating community-wide transformation. It's this beautiful, logical progression from passive consumption of information to active income-generating creation.
And the curriculum itself is highly specialized for the reality of today's economy. The program offers two main tracks. Track 1 is Digital Income and AI, inspired by business educators like Arlen Hamilton, focusing on starting an online business and content creation. Track 2 is completely different but equally revolutionary. Automated construction. This one is inspired by innovators like Jared Gross, focusing on the rapidly emerging field of 3D construction printing. We're not talking about basic typing classes anymore. These are high-demand, cutting-edge skills tailored specifically for the age of AI and automation.
Okay, so how do we actually fund and scale this thing? That's Chapter 4, the $5,000 model.
It all revolves around this exact number, $5,000. That is the total investment required per passenger to fuel their entire transformative journey. And it is a remarkably efficient number when you see exactly what it pays for.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how perfectly the budget is distributed. $1,000 goes to the actual training and world-class courses. Another $1,000 goes straight to equipping the passenger, laptops, tablets, tools, internet access, the whole shebang. $1,000 goes to the organizing body to keep the lights on and the mission moving. But look at that massive $2,000 slice right there.
That $2,000 is a completion incentive, and this is incredibly clever. It's a performance-based bonus paid directly to the passenger upon successfully finishing the 12-week program. Why? Because it serves as immediate, tangible capital. They can use it to actually launch their new business, invest in better tools, or even further their education. It ensures that the training converts directly into real-world momentum, rather than just being a nice little certificate hanging on a wall.
The operational process to get there is this clean, proven 6-step system. Step 1, recruit passengers from the community. Step 2, equip them with the devices they need. Step 3, train them through a structured 12-week program. Step 4, apply the learning through hands-on projects, like building a website or writing an ebook. Step 5, launch them into freelance work or entrepreneurship. And finally, Step 6, multiply, which brings us to the most vital part of this whole explainer.
Chapter 5. The Multiplier Effect. This is the secret weapon of the whole program. The only cost to the passenger to enter this program, the only thing they truly owe, is a commitment to this philosophy. Learn, use, teach too. By accepting the training and that completion bonus, every single participant agrees to pass their new technological wisdom on to at least 2 other people in their community. When you do the math on that, the scale is just staggering. If an organization secures a $2.6 million budget to put 520 passengers through the program in year 1, those 520 graduates will naturally multiply their knowledge to over 1,000 additional peer learners. The impact cascades. It spreads like wildfire. You aren't just transforming one life, you are seeding a network of empowered, tech-literate citizens who uplift their own families and neighbors. So, I want to leave you with this provocative question straight from the source. Who will be prepared to participate in the future we are creating? As technology continues to rapidly reshape how we live, how we work, and how we build, access to these tools is no longer a luxury. It is an absolute necessity. The digital divide bridge proves that information, when combined with access and wisely applied, becomes unstoppable transformation. Opportunity becomes reality. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll see you next time.